What's up, everybody? Today we're doing a fluorite substrate. We're going to make some plants grow a little bit faster. And Hunter, turn on the water for me. Not a lot.
Not a lot. That good?
Low.
That good?
Okay, so with these fluorite bags,
I think you need to speak up a little bit. I don't think the mic can catch.
with these fluorite bags, they have a filter on the bottom, just a mesh that we're going to use to filter out the fluorite. You see there all the black dusty water coming out. That's so when we put it in our tank, it's not as dusty. So you just rip open the top of the bag, and then on the bottom it's got a little mesh thing on there for you. Makes it easy. So you're just going to fill up the bag with water. We're going to go in here, drain this out of the mesh on the bottom, kind of stir this up a little bit, get all the sediment out, which is your small dust particles. I like doing this a lot more than dirted tanks because dirted tanks are a bigger mess than this. And this is messy enough. So, we'll rinse this out a few times. This is just a clay type composite. They call it fluorite. Works really well for growing your plants out fast. When you get clear water coming out of the bottom, you're done. And we got some pretty clear water coming out of here now. Not all dusty and milky. Make sure we get this all out, all the water out before we take it inside. Turn off the water for me, Hunter. Alright, so that's part one.
Wait, do you want to go inside? You want to go inside, my dog?
Hey, don't leave with anybody. Don't let anybody steal you. Hang on, I got a bag full of stuff. I'm not recording, right? Don't record yet.
What?
Don't record yet.
What do you mean? Stop it?
Alright guys, we are going to continue our fluorite substrate in this tank. This is my guppy breeder. It's a 30 long. I'm only doing half of this tank. We're only doing one side. So you can see in here I've got a PVC pipe set up. This has Java moss. We drilled out some holes. Put Java moss in each one of the holes. And then I've got Wisteria in one of the holes there. And then I've got some Java moss that's scattered over there. I've got all my plants. You see the ones with the roots, that's Anubias. We got swords. We've got all different types that are in here that we're going to be planting inside this fluorite. Now the fluorite, we got it already done. This is going to make a big mess in my water. But like I said, I'm only doing half the tank, so I had to move all the gravel out of the way. So I got my fluorite going in. You see that it does make a mess. Don't sit and think that you're going to do this anyway, but a messy way. It's the only way to do this. Alright. So you see all the sediment that's going to go out here. It takes about a day and that sediment will go away. Alright, I'm only going to be planting these plants in the front. So I only want this to go in the front. I get the most light in the front of this tank, so that's where I want to put my plants. Okay, I do have that Java moss and that other stuff in here, but that's just going to be covered up with the gravel that I've got in a pile over here. So once I get my fluorite down, get it nice and even. This is about 3/4 of an inch thick. And about 3/4 inch layer in here. Got my ghost shrimp. Got to get these guys out of the way. All right, and then I only want maybe 1/4 of an inch of my gravel to go over the top of this. I don't need a lot to cover this. And again, this is just decorative. You can do a Flourite, just the whole Flourite bottom. You don't need the gravel over the top. This is just my preference because I'm not real big on having just a black bottom. I like a little bit of color. Got this built up a little bit too much in the corner over here. It's okay if this stuff mixes, it's not going to hurt anything. I just want to get my gravel down so that way I can start putting my plants in. Alright, so once I get my gravel down, I've got my Java moss and the pipe back here. I just want to barely cover that. I just want to cover the pipe, I don't want to cover the Java moss. I'll make sure that my Java moss has room to grow. The reason that I have this PVC pipe in here is that I do breed ghost shrimp in here, and the ghost shrimp use the pipe to lay their eggs in so that the fish can't get to them. They will hatch. I have a little bit of a flow that comes off of the filters, and that helps out with that helps to get the babies out once they hatch. Okay, see a lot of the stuff I have in here, this is Java moss. This stuff I can just stick in the substrate. This really doesn't need a lot of nutrient. It's a pretty low light plant. I know the Java moss isn't real pretty right now, but I just got it recently. It takes about 3 weeks for this stuff to come in, like really start to fill out, and then from there you're just going to be growing it. So nothing major. All right, so now we're going to actually start planting these plants in the Flourite. This one right here is just a sword. So I'm going to take the sword. Gotta get this Anubias off of here. Come on, Anubias. Alright, so you see I have all these roots that are here? I'm going to take these. I want to get me a hole in here into the substrate. Put a hole in and then fill it in with your fingers. Now with swords, Anubias, all these different plants, you don't want to cover the very bottom of this or your plant will just melt away. What do I mean by your plant will just melt away? I mean it will wither. You will have a fraction of a plant. If you do start to see the melting, you do need to pull some of the gravel away from it. And what I mean is the very top of this, you see where the roots are coming out? I don't want to bury any deeper than this part right here where my nail is. You don't want to dig any deeper than that into the substrate. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in here, stick it in there. Alright, now when these roots start hitting that Flourite, and remember I only have maybe 1/2 inch of gravel on top of these. When those roots start hitting the substrate, your plant will start to take off. We've got some Wisteria here, that's what this is. Wisteria, I don't have a lot of roots on this, so you can actually see that the bottom of this is melted off. It's just kind of rubbery. So I'm going to take this Wisteria, I'm going to chop it off right there. Then I'm just going to barely put this in there, and it will start to root and take off.
No, Wisteria!
Alright, we got another Anubias here.
You have a lot of Anubias in this tank.
Yep. So we're going to take the Anubias, just get it into the Flourite there. And it'll start to root. You see the Anubias I've got here? It's got some really good roots on it already. It's actually starting to grow out. I've got some new growth on it. Good looking little plant. And take this. Get it into our Flourite. Cover this up a little bit. And again, when it starts to hit that Flourite, boom, this thing's going to take off. Alright, this is probably my best looking Anubias that I've got. It's got the best roots on it. root structure. So you can see this thing's pretty bound up pretty well. It's a good looking plant. So we just want to make sure that we get, you know, good bit of light on here. Right now I'm only running a little fluorescent. I am going to put my LED in here probably tonight. So when I do that, I'll take a video for you. That LED that I've got, it's pretty cool. It's actually used for camera lighting. You know, like professional photographers use this stuff. Pretty cool. Trying to see if I have any more plants. Yes, I do. A little bit of wisteria right there. Got some roots starting to come off of it. A little bit anyway.
I see it's melted right here, Dad. Look.
Yeah.
Like right there.
Yep.
Right there, it's a little melted.
So I've got my trusty helper. That's Hunter that you hear in the video.
Violus Hydra, go to my channel. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, check out Violus Hydra. It's a gaming channel. I do post on there. I do a lot of pretty good content. I
Talk too much.
Yeah,
That's what he
I
does.
talk too much. That's what I do. I talk too much. What?
You talk too much.
Why do you say that?
Alright, got a little bit more wisteria.
And it's melted.
Got a melted end on here. Just gonna pull this off.
Not the Wisteria!
Stick that in there, and she'll start growing. See, I already got new growth on there. And I had another piece of wisteria. There it is. Put this in here. And trying to find the other piece. I have one more and I don't see it. Oops. There we go. Some more Anubias. Even more Anubias.
I said you had a lot of Anubias in this tank. And that one actually has some pretty good. Sorry, I'm sick.
Solid roots.
Yeah, that one has some pretty good roots.
Cover this guy up.
So basically what you're doing here is you're just going to make this little part right here of the fish tank a little greenhouse.
This is going to be our bottom growth on the right, and then our top growth is on the left, and that's all the
Water hyacinth.
water hyacinth that you see over there. I got one little piece of water lettuce left. I hope it makes it.
No way, really? Where?
It's probably hidden under this stuff over here. There it is.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, wow.
And I have another piece in the 10-gallon that we still have left. So as far as the fluorite, that's how we're doing it. Now let me show you real quick. You see our bottom layer right here? The black. That's our fluorite underneath. We have our substrate, you know, our gravel that we piled up over here. I took all this gravel and moved it to one side. And then I took that pile and I moved it, spread it out over the top of my fluorite that's here. Again, that's just decorative. I only did half this tank, so I want it to match. This isn't a show tank, this is my breeder. But still, I have to look at it, so I want to make sure that it looks good. So that's how we do this. We got the fluorite on the bottom, we got about a ½ inch. And we got a little bit of our substrate up on top of this. And the plants will start drawing the nutrients out of the fluorite. And in about a week, I'll take a picture of these plants again or take another video. And you'll see that there's a big difference. You see this little tiny wisteria here? When we see this in about a week, it should be about 2 inches taller and it'll actually fill up. So that's our video for right now. Thanks everybody for watching. If you like what we're doing, subscribe and breed on.